There comes a moment, quiet, sudden, when life no longer fits the way it used to. Something shifts. Maybe it's the silence they left behind. Maybe it's a gaze you can't forget. Or maybe it's that strange ache in your chest that words can't touch. It doesn't matter how it arrives. What matters is this: something inside you has awakened. You can no longer pretend, no longer numb it, no longer run. That's how it begins, the inner fire, the soul's quiet uprising. It doesn't come wrapped in beauty. It often comes dressed as heartbreak, as confusion, as loss. But beneath all that, there is light. Pain is not here to destroy you. It's here to reveal you. You see, the twin flame journey doesn't start when you meet the other. It begins when you meet yourself, through them, when their presence becomes a mirror so clear, so honest, that you have no choice but to look. And what you see? Not perfection, not harmony, but all the pieces of you still longing to be seen, still aching to be loved. This is not punishment. It is a divine invitation. You're not broken. You're being called. Called to remember the parts you buried to survive. Called to hold the younger version of you that still waits to be chosen. Called to open the door you locked the moment life hurt too much. This is the awakening of the healer within. Not a healer of others, but of your own sacred self. And it all begins here, with the pain you wanted to escape, now becoming the very path back home. Let it burn. Let it open you. Let it teach you. Because sometimes the wound isn't the end, it's the beginning. The soul doesn't wake through comfort. It wakes through truth. And you are starting to remember who you are. At first, it feels cruel, like the universe is playing a trick on your heart. You finally find something, someone, that feels like home. And then, just as quickly, it slips through your fingers. The connection was real, the energy undeniable. So why did they leave? Why the silence? Why the distance? These are the questions that haunt the beginning of separation. But what if the distance isn't a punishment? What if it's preparation? Separation isn't the end of the journey. It's the womb where something deeper begins to grow. Because love, true soul-level love, doesn't just come to comfort you. It comes to God transform you. And transformation is not always gentle. Sometimes it requires space. Space to feel, space to face yourself, space to burn away everything that no longer serves the truth of who you are. In the silence, your soul starts to speak. It shows you the places where you abandoned yourself long before anyone else did. It uncovers the fears you've hidden behind perfection. It teaches you that your worth is not dependent on someone staying. It's rooted in your own being. Separation reveals what union cannot. It stretches you. It humbles you. It initiates you into the sacred work of inner alignment. This is not a mistake. This is design. The soul knew what it was doing when it orchestrated this pause, not to break your heart, but to break it open. Because only through that opening can light enter. Only through that fracture can healing begin. And here's the truth most miss. Separation is not a break in love. It is love in a deeper form, a form that asks, can you love yourself in the absence? Can you hold yourself when no one else is holding you? Can you choose your own soul, even when theirs walks away? This is where the sacred lives, not in the constant presence of another, but in the commitment you make to become whole, with or without them. The universe is not cruel. It is wise, and in its wisdom, it knew you needed this space to shed the illusion, to dissolve the dependency, to meet yourself fully, honestly, fiercely. So the separation, it's not the end of love, it is the initiation into a higher version of it, one that begins not with their return, but with yours. Your return to presence, to purpose, to power. That's why this distance is sacred, because it is not pushing you away from love, it is guiding you toward it, toward the love you carry within. They didn't just walk into your life, they walked into the deepest parts of your soul. Uninvited, maybe, unexpected, absolutely, but undeniably destined. When you looked into their eyes, something ancient stirred. Not just love, recognition, like your soul whispered. There you are. But what you didn't know, not yet, is that what you were seeing wasn't just them, it was you. Because twin flames do not show up to complete you. They show up to reveal you. And nothing reveals you like a mirror. At first, the mirror reflects all that is beautiful. The light, the passion, the endless connection. It feels like magic. Like finally, you're being seen in a way no one else ever could. But then the mirror shifts, and now you see what you tried to forget. The fear, the control, the wounds you buried under strength or silence. They didn't cause the pain, they certainly reflected it. Every trigger, every argument, every moment of distance is not proof of failure. It's the soul's attempt to show you what still lives unhealed within you. That's the paradox of the twin flame connection. It brings the highest form of love by showing you everything that stands in the way of it. They hold up the mirror, and in it, you meet your shadow, your guilt, your shame, your craving for validation, your fear of being alone. But here's the gift no one tells you about. Once you see it, you can heal it. This is not about blame. It's about awareness. They're not your enemy. They're your mirror. And in that mirror, you're not just seeing what's broken. You're seeing what's ready to be restored. The unspoken child within you, the woman or man you've silenced to be accepted, the fire you dimmed so you wouldn't burn anyone too brightly. It all returns in the presence of your twin, because their soul made a promise to yours before this life began. I will help you remember who you are, even if it hurts. And now, it's your turn to look, not with judgment, not with fear, but with compassion. The mirror doesn't lie, but it also doesn't hate. It simply reflects. And what it reflects now is your chance to reclaim your truth, to embrace the parts you thought were unlovable, to finally meet yourself without masks, without stories, without running. Because when you can stand before the mirror of the soul and not flinch, that's when the healing begins. And through that mirror, you become whole. There is a moment in every sacred journey when the light fades, and all that's left is you, and the shadow you've tried so hard to escape. We spend years building walls, smiling when we want to scream, saying I'm fine while drowning inside. We learn how to survive, how to hide, how to perform. But the shadow remembers. It waits, not to haunt you, but to free you. When the twin flame journey enters the phase of separation, the silence they leave behind echoes into your hidden places. Suddenly, the parts of you you've avoided, they rise. Old wounds open like sacred doors. The heartbreaks you never grieved, the anger you swallowed, the fear of abandonment rooted in childhood, the unworthiness you dressed up as independence. This is the shadow, and facing it is terrifying because it asks you to stop blaming them and start seeing yourself. But here's the truth no one teaches. Your shadow is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It holds the memories you were too young to understand. It keeps the parts of you that were once rejected. It carries your deepest truths, waiting patiently to be seen. And when you face it, really face it, something powerful begins to shift. You realize the pain wasn't punishment, it was protection. The sadness wasn't weakness, it was a cry for belonging. Every time you shut a part of yourself away, the shadow caught it. And now it's time to bring it back into the light. This is the mirror work, not glamorous, not easy, but sacred. It means sitting in stillness when every part of you wants to run. It means feeling grief that has no words. It means forgiving yourself for the choices you made from survival, not clarity. And it means holding space for the younger you, the one who didn't get what they needed, the one who was told they were too much or not enough, the one who believed love had to be earned. This is not about fixing yourself. You were never broken. It's about reclaiming the pieces of your soul you abandoned to feel safe. You will be tempted to numb it, to distract, to chase them instead of facing what their absence is awakening in you. But your healing is not found in their return. It's found in your own courage yet to stay present with yourself. The shadow is not darkness. It is the part of you that was never allowed to shine. And when you choose to face it, not with shame, but with love, you stop running. You start remembering. You become whole not by avoiding your pain, but by becoming intimate with it, by asking it what it needs, by learning how to love even the parts of you that were never loved before. This is bravery, not loud, not dramatic, but silent, sacred, and soul deep. To face your shadow without fear is to say, I will no longer abandon myself. And that is the greatest reunion of all, not with them, but with you. They were the spark, but the flame was always yours. It's easy to believe that healing means reunion, that becoming whole means winning them back, that peace will only come when they return. But that's not the truth your soul came here to learn. The truth is this: you were never incomplete. The idea that someone else holds the missing half of you is a beautiful illusion, and a dangerous one. Because as long as you believe they are the key, you remain locked inside a version of yourself that depends on someone else's presence to feel worthy, seen, alive. But your soul knows better. Your soul craves freedom, not dependence. It longs for a love that rises from within, not one that needs to be rescued. So the work begins, not in trying to win them back, but in returning to the places inside yourself where you abandoned your own presence. You stop asking, why did they leave? And start asking, why did I leave myself? You begin to notice the small betrayals, the dreams you gave up to be accepted, the emotions you silenced to keep the peace, the truth you swallowed so you wouldn't scare them away. And then, gently, patiently, you begin the sacred task of reclaiming yourself. Becoming whole is not a destination, it's a devotion, a daily choice to stand by your own side, especially when it hurts, especially when no one else is there. You learn to be your own anchor, to hold space for your joy, your sorrow, your longing, to listen when your heart trembles, to love yourself not despite your flaws, but through them. You stop waiting, not because you've given up, but because you've finally come home to yourself. And in that home, you plant new seeds, boundaries rooted in self-respect, stillness that nurtures your inner voice, rituals that remind you of your sacredness. You find beauty in solitude, not loneliness, but as a sovereignty. The kind of peace that doesn't depend on who stays or who walks away. You realize that your power was never about control. It was about truth, about showing up as who you really are, without shrinking, without apologizing. And when you become whole, something magical happens. You no longer need love to fill you. You become love itself, not the desperate kind, but the quiet, radiant kind that knows, I am enough, I am complete, I am divine. And if they return, beautiful. And if they don't, you're still whole. Because the purpose of this journey was never just reunion with them. It was reunion with use. And now you walk not as a half searching for the other, but as a flame that remembers its own fire. This is the healing the universe wanted for you all along. Not a story of loss, but of return. Return to your essence. Return to your wholeness. Return to your divine self. Obsession feels like a wildfire in the soul, raging, consuming, relentless. It's that tight grip on the past, the what-ifs, the endless looping thoughts of if only, and what now? It steals your breath, your focus, your peace. When you're caught in obsession, you're living in a shadow of love, not the true love that frees and uplifts, but the kind that chains and confines. It's a love turned desperate, a hunger that can never be truly fed. You replay every conversation, analyze every look, trying to find meaning, proof, a sign. Your mind races, heart aches, and still, the real you feels lost, trapped behind a wall of thoughts and fears. But here is the quiet truth waiting beneath the storm. Obsession is the soul's cry for presence, a deep longing not just for the other, but for yourself. The shift begins when you start to see this, when the fire of obsession doesn't drive you away from yourself, but leads you back. Presence is the opposite of obsession. It is stillness, groundedness, and clear awareness. It is the gentle art of showing up, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually, for your own life. Presence means letting go of the endless mental chase. It means choosing to be with what is, rather than what could be. It means breathing into your feelings instead of running from them. This shift is not easy. It asks you to step out of the storm, even when the wind howls, to stand in your own light, even when the shadows call. Presence opens a door to self-love, because when you stop chasing them, you start chasing you. You begin to notice the quiet moments, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the rhythm of your breath, the gentle whisper of your own heart. Presence is a sacred space where healing begins. Here, you are not defined by absence or longing. You are defined by your willingness to be whole, exactly as you are. When obsession loosens its grip, you find freedom. Freedom from anxiety, freedom from pain, freedom from the endless story of if only. And in that freedom, you discover your power to create peace, your power to hold your own heart. This is the shift the twin flame journey teaches us, not to lose ourselves in the other, but to find ourselves through the love we thought we were missing. It is the quiet revolution within, from desperate pursuit to calm presence, from longing to being, from emptiness to fullness. And this presence, this steady, grounded being, is the true foundation of all love. Because a love that lasts does not cling, it does not obsess, it simply is. In the quiet aftermath of separation, when the echoes of absence grow loud, there comes a sacred invitation, the call to return home, not to a place on a map, but to the deepest sanctuary inside you. The return to yourself is the greatest journey of all. It is the journey back to your soul's essence. Beyond the roles you play, the masks you wear, and the stories you've told to survive, this path is often hidden beneath the pain, masked by the yearning to be found by the other. But when you turn inward, you realize something profound. You were never truly lost. You were simply asleep. The twin flame connection pulls you out of that sleep, sometimes gently, sometimes violently, to awaken the parts of you that have been waiting to be remembered. To return to yourself means embracing all parts of your being, the light and the shadow, the joy and the sorrow, the strength and the vulnerability. It means reclaiming your power, not as a weapon, but as a tender force that holds your boundaries and your dreams. It means forgiving yourself for the times you ran, for the times you stayed, for the times you loved imperfectly. This return is not a straight line. It winds like a river through moments of doubt, moments of grace, moments when you want to give up, and moments when you soar. But each step brings you closer to the truth that has always been inside you. You are whole. You are enough. You are your own home. This home doesn't depend on another's presence. It is built from your own love, your own acceptance, your own grace. When you come back to yourself, you find peace. Not the peace of avoiding pain, but the peace of sitting with it and letting it teach you. You learn to listen to your inner voice, the one that knows your dreams, your fears, your gifts. You learn to dance with your emotions, to honor them without being overwhelmed. You learn to trust your path even when it's unclear. This return is the true union, the sacred marriage between your soul and your own truth. It is here, in this sacred reunion, that you find the freedom to love, not out of need, but out of abundance. And when you stand fully returned to yourself, you radiate a light that no one can dim. You become a beacon for others who are lost, a living proof that wholeness is possible. So listen closely to that quiet call. It's not a retreat, it's an advance. The greatest love story you will ever live is the one you have with yourself. There comes a moment when the journey shifts, when the weight of the past no longer pulls you down, and the pain you once carried becomes the soil for new growth. You begin to walk awakened. This is not about perfection, nor a sudden flood of light that erases every shadow. It's a quiet knowing, a gentle strength born from the deepest places of your soul. Walking awakened means stepping into your life fully aware, with eyes open to both the beauty and the challenges. It means embracing your scars as sacred maps, each one telling a story of survival and transformation. It is a new beginning, not because everything has changed outside, but because something profound has shifted within. You move with intention, no longer pulled by fear or obsession, but guided by presence and purpose. Every step is a choice, to honor your truth, to hold your boundaries, to nurture your light. Walking awakened means embracing uncertainty, trusting that even in the unknown, you are held. It means carrying the lessons of your journey like a quiet fire, warming your heart and illuminating your path. This awakening is a sacred gift, a reminder that you are not defined by what was lost, but by the courage it took to stand again. It is the freedom to love without attachment, to give without expectation, to be whole without needing to be completed by another. As you walk awakened, you become a beacon, a living testament to the power of healing and growth. You show others that it's possible to rise from the ashes, to find light in the darkest nights, and to create a life that reflects the beauty of your soul. This is your new beginning, a journey not toward someone else, but toward yourself. And in this awakening, you find the greatest truth of all. You are enough. You are whole. You are free. If this message touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe for more soul-guided insights and hit the like button to let the universe know you're ready to walk awakened. Share in the comments, what part of yourself are you finally coming home to? Let's grow, heal, and rise together.